from the Penn and Teller Theater in Las Vegas, Nevada, here's our host, Jonathan Ross.
Thank you so much. You're very kind. Welcome to Penn and Teller Full Last, where Penn and Teller sit in the Penn and Teller Theatre on the Penn and Teller show that's named after them, where acts come out and try and stump Penn and Teller for a chance to come back here and perform with Penn and Teller. Wait until you see what we have in store for you tonight. But first, let me bring out the stars of the shows. I can't remember if I mentioned their name, but here they are. Penn and Teller. Lovely to see you again. So glad to see you here. Gentlemen, if you'd like to take your chairs, the show can get started. Penn and Teller, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a treat to have Penn and Teller here. Now, if you're wearing socks, hold on to them, because here comes our first potential fooler.
Okay, so I'm Joel Myers, and this is Spidey. And he's like the brother I never wanted.
I put up with Joel because he's good at magic. You tell someone you're a magician, one of the things they're going to ask you is, can you pull a coin out of my ear? And you would think that...
My ring.
As comfortable as most people are at walking and talking, I see that level of comfort in Joel when he's doing magic. It's just second nature to him. You put a deck of cards in his hand, magic is going to happen.
Look, over your head. Watch. Look, he's stopped. Look.
I hate when you do that. What is this?
Look at this, watch this.
What is this?
In his mouth.
What is that?
Look, did you see that?
Dude, I hate it when you do that. Dude, I told you, don't do that.
I couldn't think of anybody better to be doing this show with. Spidey has fooled me with so many things. It blows my mind. God, that was hard to say.
In our next duo, one guy specialises in sleight of hand, the other is a mentalist. Together, they're slightly mental. Please welcome Joel Myers and Spidey.
What's up, guys? My name is Joel Myers, and tonight we are going to tell you about something called mentalism.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Spidey, and I'm a mentalist, which means I can read your mind.
No, we can't.
In a moment, I'm going to do something for you guys using this ordinary book.
Stop. See, now, why would he say that, ordinary book? Why would anybody say that? We didn't think it was an unordinary book before, but now we do. Go ahead. And
actually, to do this, I'm going to borrow Mr. Ross. So, Mr. Ross, if you can make it over here, ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise. Thanks for being here. Mr. Ross, I'm going to flip through the pages of this book. I want you to say the word stop whenever you like. Make sure I stop when you say. Stop. Right there. Can you see the first word on that page?
I can.
The first word, just lock that in your mind.
Boom.
Here we go.
Wow.
What's happening right now? Why does every mentalist and magician insist on doing this weird heavy breathing as they pretend to harness their magical powers? Really, at the end of the day, at least this guy's not involving you in it.
Put your arm forward, breathe with me, up and down. Yes, send it to me, send it to me, send it to me, send it to me, good, yes. Lock it in your mind, think of it, send it to me, yes, send it to me, yes, focus.
A ridiculous amount of time, and an even more ridiculous amount of horrible acting. Not you, you're good. The mentalist finally reveals the chosen word.
For the very first time, Mr. Ross, what was the word you were thinking?
It was curiously.
Curiously. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, curiously.
Wow.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. Thank you so much. Thanks. Yes.
No.
Why?
Come on, man, that was ridiculous. First of all, if we're really going to impress these people, what is this book? Nobody's even heard. Instant Intuition. Nobody's even heard of this book. If we're going to impress these people, we got to use a book that everybody here would know.
Where are we going to get that?
Funny thing you should ask. I just happen to bring a couple of random books with me. The classics, you guys, the classics. 6 random books. Books like The Secret Garden, Frankenstein, Dracula, like Twilight, but better. Robinson Crusoe, Treasure Island, all the good ones. Also, I think we need to have a random page number selected. A page number totally at random.
We could do that, sure. Sir, over here in the front, if you could just stand up. You don't have to come up, just right there. It's fine. What is your name?
Patrick.
I guess most of those books have about 200 pages. Think of any number between 1 and 200. That's the page we'll use. Think of one. Do you have one?
Yeah.
And in fact, we're going to show this to someone in a moment. So go ahead and write it down right there in the circle. Make sure I can't see it. Just like that. And
also, I think we need to find somebody else that's totally at random, like a completely random spectator, because we don't know him.
Sure.
He could be anybody. Somebody totally at random.
Right. So Patrick, do me a favor. Rip out the Post-it. Make sure I still can't see it. Fold it in 4. Good. And just pass it to the person behind you, the gentleman behind you. Yeah. And then let's keep it moving. Pass it behind you. Left, right. Keep it going. Left, right, back, front, whatever.
Yeah,
keep it going.
Make it totally random. Keep it going.
And then stop. Stop right there. What is your name? Please stand up.
Sam.
Here's the deal. We have 6 books over here. 6 books. We want to pick a random book. We want you to pick that random book, okay? So I want you to name any number between 1 and 6 for me.
4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Robinson Crusoe. Cool. Now, also, Spidey, I think to make this even more impressive, I think you should write down, like, your prediction ahead of time.
Yeah, I could do that. Sure.
Sam, I'm going to bring this book to you. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's
So
great.
as I'm doing this, go ahead and start unfolding that piece of paper. Make sure I don't see it, though. Look at the page number that Patrick wrote down. Okay? Sam, take the book.
Thank you.
I'm going to stand back so I can't see it. Sam, here's what I want you to do. I want you to open up that little piece of paper with the page number on it, and then turn to that page number in the book. And as soon as you do that, let me know you've done it.
I've done it.
You're good?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
sir.
Spidey, you got a prediction?
Yeah, I do have something. I just, I feel like we should have something safe to put in, like an envelope or something.
What? Magic exists. Sorry, that was awkward. Okay, all right, so we're going to open this up.
See that? Like that, yeah.
Yes, and I'll seal it up. It's a peel and seal. That's
Are you at the correct page?
I am at the correct page.
Do me a favor, look at that top line. First word of that line. If I did this correctly, I feel like the first word of that line is a very short word, maybe 4, maybe 5 letters. 4 letters, yes?
Correct.
Correct. And then there's a shorter word after that. It's the third one I'm interested in. I feel like that's a little bit longer. There's a V in that word.
Yes.
Starts with a V. There's a T. No T?
Dude, what are you doing? If you know the word, just tell us. Why are you just fishing for letters? If you know the word, tell us what it is.
I don't know the word. I don't know.
Then what did you write down in your prediction? You don't know?
It's like a guess, kind of like a guesstimate type thing.
You guessed? We're on national TV and you... Dude, are you serious? You guessed the word? Hold on, guys. Okay, so Sam, the word that you're thinking of is that word dictionary.
It is not.
Joel, it's not.
No, you had your chance. Is it dictionary? Is it like Pictionary?
Joel,
Something that rhymes?
Joel, the word isn't dictionary. I was saying the word is in the dictionary.
Dude, every word is in the dictionary, genius.
That's why I wrote something on the back, genius. Turn it around, look, show them, there's a number. Yeah, show. 36311. It's a code. It's a code. What is the word?
Voyage.
Voyage. Mr. Gillette, there's a dictionary on your table next to you.
There is.
Can you do me the favor? It says 36311. Can you please flip the page 363?
363.
363. Then it says 1. That means we're going to be using the first column on page 363
Yeah, I got
of 2
that.
columns. First line at the top. Now
I
hold
got
that for
that.
a sec. Do not say it quite yet.
I won't.
You went to a random page, selected at random. It was a random book. You were selected at random, and the word was voyage. Mr. Gillette, page 363, first column, first word, please.
It's a noun or a verb. It's journey by ship. The accent's on the first syllable. It's voyage.
Yes, that was good.
Yes! That works. Thank you so much.
Joel Myers and Spidey, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for them. Great job. Very impressive. And very funny as well. Now, you know how this works. Penn and Teller's sitting there, they're thinking about it. Teller's got his book out. They're going to be writing down their ideas to see if they know how it happened. Where did you guys get together? Because you weren't always performing as a duo, were you?
No, we met like 3 or 4 years ago and literally just became really close friends. We have so many things in common, and then at the same time, we're completely opposite and drive each other nuts in so many ways. But yeah, we met just a few years ago. Yeah,
And you still carry on working separately as well, though, even though you've got the
we're
double.
individual performers, yeah.
We do a bit of both. We wanted to tackle this together because I really enjoy mentalism very much, but Joel has a huge appreciation for what Penn and Teller do, and he's a huge fan. And so he was able to take the mentalism effect and make it more fun and sort of be like, come on, let's give them something that they're going to appreciate.
Okay, it looks to me like Penn and Teller have finished their deliberations, so we'll find out what they thought and whether they know what you did. Gentlemen.
Okay. Boy, we like two-person teams. And also, I love the doing a trick and then commenting on it while you're doing it. I love that busting of psychics while you're doing an amazing psychic thing. You know, the interesting thing about the two of us is we have a lot of information on this because I happen to have a magnifying glass just like this at home, which I thought was quite a coincidence. And Teller has a pen exactly like the pen that fellow used to write down the number, which is also a surprising coincidence. And I would have the magnifying glass and Teller would have the pen. The other thing that's odd about this trick is that you use paper books. Damnedest thing. When was the Gutenberg press? Gutenberg press was the 17th century, right? Earlier, 16th century. And yet, for all that time, you still couldn't have done this trick except for the past 10 or 15 years. And I have this magnifying glass, and Teller has the exact same pen you used.
So I think you're fairly confident they know what you were doing?
I think a pair of magicians just got schooled by a more seasoned pair of magicians.
But, you know, I think you guys came here wanting to give us a good show. Didn't you? That
That's
was
a
the main
wonderful
reason.
show.
And you did that. It was a great show, wasn't it, ladies and gentlemen? They didn't fool them. But we had a great time watching you work. Ladies and gentlemen, Joel Myers and Spidey. Take care, guys. My next trick, I'm about to show you a few 30-second images. You tell me what products they want to make you buy when we come back. Welcome back to Fool Us. What's this behind my ear? Oh, it's just our next potential fooler.
My name is Rick Lax, and I invent magic tricks. When you see a magician do a magic trick, they probably didn't think of it. I did. Every day, I just go to coffee shops and think up new magic tricks. I'm a little bit of a spectacle because everyone else is out drinking their coffee and I'm making flowers disappear. 8 years ago, I graduated law school, and then I passed the bar, and I drove all the way to Las Vegas to write a book about deceptions, and I just lost track of time, and here I still am. And I came this close to being a lawyer. I've spent so many years behind the camera coming up with tricks for other magicians, and now is my chance to go in front of the camera, see what I can do. But depending on how I do on Fool Us, I might go back to law.
This next gentleman is a Renaissance man. I don't know if that means he paints chapel ceilings like Michelangelo or he's a kick-ass ninja turtle like Raphael. Let's find out as we meet Rick Lax.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Penn and Teller. Come on up, guys. Come on up. Penn right here, Teller right there.
Very well, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm about to make a shuffled deck of playing cards magically appear inside the breast pocket of Mr. Penn Jillette, and it's going to happen right now. Penn, reach in there and pull them out.
I do have a deck of shuffled cards.
I'll take them. So I assume it. Thank you. I'm going to give the cards a quick shuffle. And as I do it, let me ask you, before you put the cards in your pocket, did you also shuffle them?
Yes, I did.
Okay, great. Now, Teller, there's 12 cards in the deck that I'm really good at memorizing. I'm going to go through the cards right now. I'm going to take out those 12, and when I do it, oh boy, is it boring. Could not be more boring. So I figured while this is happening, one of us should entertain the audience by reciting a nice long poem. We'll have someone else do it. Penn, is there a poem you like?
Well, there's a few. I've seen the greatest minds of my generation destroyed by madness. You want Howl? Or do you want The Outlook Wasn't Brilliant?
The Outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville 9 that day. The score stood 4-2 with but an inning more to play. And when Cooney's died at first and Barrows did the same, a tragic silence fell upon the patrons of the game. Straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could get but a whack at that. We'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. There was any of these case matters to step to the place where his pride in Casey's bearing and a smile at Casey's face. And when responding to the crowds, Casey lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. Teller, you can see I took out 6 black cards and 6 red cards. I'm going to ask you to give those cards a wash, Vegas style. Just mix them up. And when he's done, I'm going to look through the cards, and I'm going to try to memorize the order very quickly. And then, after I've got the order memorized, I'm going to try to separate them out into 2 piles, one with red cards, one with black cards. Let's see if I can do it. So if I did that right, we should have all the red cards on one side and all the black cards on the other side. Let's see. No, wait, no. See, that's kind, it's kind, but I cannot accept that much applause for a subpar memory demonstration. It's insulting. If I'm gonna fool them, I can't just do something that's hard. I've got to do something that is impossible. So, I'm going to do the same thing again, but this time I'm going to do it with more cards. And I'm going to memorize the cards as I recite the poem, and then I'm going to do something impossible, which looks like this. Where was I?
Mighty Casey at
the back, that's right. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded as he wiped him on his shirt. And while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hit, defiance gleamed in Casey's eyes. A sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere comes hurling through the air. And Casey stood a-watching, a haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball repeated sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and again the dun sphere flew. And Casey stood a-watching. And the umpire said, strike 2! That's right. So I got these cards memorized. You can see there's about 19 of them, maybe 21. There's 21, I'm counting. And Teller, with your help, I'm going to change the order of these cards. So I can split them up into 3 piles, 4 piles, 5 piles. How many piles should I split the cards up into? 5 piles. All right, then I'll try to take out about 1/5 of the cards here. That's pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, and I got 5 and another 4 and 5. So now I just have to keep track of which pile is which would have been easier if you had picked 3 piles. 5 makes it harder. Now I'm going to reassemble them, whichever order you want. So if you point to a pile, we'll put it in my hand. Okay? Next. And now Penn, a number.
10.
10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cut those to the bottom. Tell her a number. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So things are pretty simple from this point on. All I gotta do is remember the order the cards were in, remember how we changed the order, track every single one of the cards, and then split them up into red and black piles as we conclude the poem.
Strike two.
Strike two. I'll continue from there. Fraud, cried the maddened thousands, and the echo answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow cold and stern. They saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey would not let the ball go by again. The smile fled from Casey's lips. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go, and now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the stars are shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout, but there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out.
Relax, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Well, you know how this works. They're going to sit down there, they're going to deliberate. Let me ask you about the being here on stage, because I think everyone who comes out here, it's courageous. But you've normally been behind the scenes.
That's right. Usually I create tricks for other magicians, so this is a very new experience for me coming out here and performing for them.
I think it shows an enormous amount of courage. Let's hear it for Rick again, because to come out here and do this here in this setting, wow, that takes a certain bravery. And maybe a certain foolishness as well, I don't know. I don't know, but Teller looks... It's always hard to tell what Teller looks like, but he looks a little surprised. Okay, well, let's go over to him. Penn, Teller.
Boy, oh boy, that was a good routine.
Thank you.
And not only that, it was a very, very flattering routine to take Casey at the bat, which we did off Broadway and on Broadway. We're just very flattered by you using all this Penn and Teller minutia, all this trivia to make that so good. Your performance, I love the nervous, nutty energy. You got a little nervous, of course, when you sell this. Gives us a lot of information about it. And we also copped a couple cards from the table. We also saw you take the box and put that box in your pocket, to put the box away while you had the cards in your hand, which means you could have at that moment have rung in a cooler. And the cards could in some way be doctored for you to be able to figure out which to go which way. All of that would be true if you had not fooled us. But you did.
Wow. What a great moment. Congratulations. The guys who want to say, go around the front there, because they want to share with you while we bring this down. Here you go. Just don't go enough. Beautiful. Rick, this is for you. You fooled them. You don't just get like your life replacement. You're going to be coming back here to perform as part of their act. Relax. Congratulations. Wow. We're going to be back after a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Fool Us. Now, one act has already stumped Penn and Teller and earned the priceless opportunity to perform alongside them in their amazing Vegas show. Do I hear two? Let's meet our next potential fooler.
My name is Marcus Eddy, and I'm a creator. I think one of the biggest advantages I have in the show is that I do create my own magic, and so what you're going to see is something original. My favorite type of magic is impromptu magic. I can walk into any place and pick up something and immediately do magic with it. My daughter Alyssa. It helps me out with some of the magic ideas that I have. That was great. Can you do it again? Do it again. Of course, children have that great imagination, and I just love having a jam session with her about magical ideas. That totally gets my mind working. I truly believe that I can change my life and the life of my family doing what I do.
Will you please welcome Marcus Eddy.
My name is Marcus Eddy, and magic has always been my escape. That's why I've had this key with me ever since I was a kid to remind myself that I can always unlock my imagination to get through anything. Now, I first realized this when studying one of my favorite magicians, Harry Houdini, who was also one of the greatest escape artists of all time. Harry Houdini would defy the laws of physics by passing his body through solid brick walls, which to some is the only way he was able to escape from handcuffs and chains. Harry Houdini would be a symbol
a voice for generations to come, challenging fear every time he stepped on that stage, saying nothing can hold me. Now, the idea of passing through solid objects is what inspired me to create something very special for you, Penn and Teller. Would you both mind joining me on stage? Everyone, please help me welcome Penn and Teller. What I'd like each of you is to hold right here, you hold right here, and you hold right there. What I'd like you to do is to pull on the chain, and as you back away to each end, as you back away to each end, feeling each link to make sure it's completely solid. Now, you'll also notice that there is a key tag at each end of the chain.
Yeah.
And what I'd like you to do is to write your initials, draw a picture, just mark it in a way that you'll be able to recognize it when you see it again. You can keep the markers.
Wow.
I'll take the chain, and you can enjoy the show from your seat. Thank you so much for your help. Now, what you're about to see may seem unbelievable. Some of you may look at this as a trick or a puzzle to be solved, but I hope more of you look at this as inspiration in knowing that nothing is impossible. I want to give everybody one last look at the marks from Penn and Teller. Because in a moment, I'm going to pass this chain right through the middle of my body. Now, there have been times where I felt held back from accomplishing something in my life. And magic has always been there to remind me that no matter what, I can always, if I use my imagination, get through anything. Penn, Teller, I want you to check the tags to make sure they are the same tags. And you can keep that chain as my gift to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. My name is Marcus Eddy.
Marcus Eddy, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. Wow, that was very, very impressive. I noticed there seemed to be a theme in what you were talking about. You were talking about getting through things and nothing being impossible. Is that something you hope to spread with your magic? Is that a message you believe in getting out there?
Yes, definitely. With magic, I want to inspire everybody to let them know that you can accomplish anything that you want to. You just got to have the guts to go for your dream. So.
Now, you weren't always doing this, were you?
No, I wasn't.
What were you doing? What was your job before this?
Most of my jobs were like customer service, cubicle jobs, and I felt like my potential wasn't being met. So I decided to take the leap of faith, and I really wanted to show my daughter that she can also follow her dreams, and she doesn't have to go the same path that everybody goes
well,
through.
That's a lovely thing. That really is. So leading by example.
Yes.
Okay. I think they're ready to tell you what their verdict is. Let's go to Penn. Penn, what do you think of Marcus, and do you know how it was done?
Well, I got to tell you, a lot of people come up here with stuff that they've gotten somewhere else. Now, this has a little bit of a lineage with Harbin and with Bob Sheets, but we really do believe you invented it. This variation seems to be very much yours. We also love the fact, Teller and I are cheap carny trash, so when you bribe us with brand new shiny chain and brand new pens, we're very, very eager to have you fool us. But I think the fact is that if you fooled us right now, we'd want to go up there and pat you on the back. And I don't think you really did completely fool us. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Is that right?
You did a great job.
What a great trick.
It is my honor to actually perform for you. You both of you have definitely been an inspiration to me. So
it's a wonderful trick, man. Wonderful trick.
Nice trick.
Yeah.
So you're comfortable.
Yes.
So, Marcus, you're comfortable they busted you, you didn't fall this time?
They are the masters.
I'm going to give you a chance. Do you want to get that chain and those pens back before you go?
I know that. They're really nice to you.
Marcus, it was great to meet you. What a nice young man. Marcus Eddy, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. Thank you. Great job. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back soon with more Penn and Teller Fool Us, so don't go away. Let's meet our next heartwarming act.
I'm Bruce Gold, and I am a comedy magician, though not always in that order. What is it with kids and their fascination with magic? When I was 14 years old, the first trick I bought was called the appearing cane. When I was 15, I did a birthday party for a neighbor. It was a 30-minute show. I was paid $30, and I did the math. $1 a minute. This is a genius profession. I'm going to be a magician. I've always wondered about the difference between a comedian who does magic and a magician who does comedy. And I'm not really sure which one I am. But I know if you're doing comedy first, you better have a lot of laughs in your show. You know what's crazy? I'll tell you crazy. Crazy would be a network television show where magicians try to fool Penn and Teller.
This next performer is a combination of a stand-up comic and a magician, which means his therapy bill is twice as high. Will you please welcome Bruce Gold?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, for this trick, I'm going to need the help of a lady from the audience, so I'll just look for a friendly face. Let's see. Hi, you have a very pretty smile. You help? Give her some encouragement, right? Take my hand. Follow me. I've been here before. I know the way. Right over here to my right. Turn around. Face the lovely people. Tell me your name.
May.
Hi, May. Nice to meet you. Come with me right over here. Are you afraid of snakes?
No.
Good. Ooh, wow. Hunger Games. Snakes, bring it on. Like your style. All right, guess what I have?
Snake.
Snakes, plural.
Thanks.
Live one and a dead one. Reach in. Let's see which one you get. Go ahead. Suddenly we're a little less than cooperative. All right, stay right there. I'll protect you. Underneath this box, something far more dangerous than a serpent. It's a toaster. Wait, I can control it. Brought my own friend crowd with me, May. It's a toaster, or if you're a thrill seeker, a bath toy. Now, did I not just say it was dangerous, right? Okay. May, have you seen the game shows on TV with the prize girls?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, assume the position. Let me help. Stand right here. Right here, perfect. A little more forward. Left hand out like so. Good. Right hand out, palm up. Perfect. I'm going to have the announcer describe the toaster, and then you model it like the prize girls on TV. Perfect. Then I'll say, show them the card. And when I say that, you lift this card up, has the price on the front, and don't forget to smile. Perfect. Okay. All right. Mr. Announcer, tell the lovely May and all of us all about it.
Sure thing, Bruce. Yes, it's no ordinary toaster. It's a Toastmaster. For masterful toasting, slice after slice.
Show them the card, May.
1991.
Big smile. Way to own it, May. Well done. And I have captured your moment in this wallet-sized photo. This will be yours after the show for... May, I don't know if you noticed as you modeled the toaster, which you did superbly, incidentally. It's a one-slicer. Real toaster made by Toastmaster back in the 40s. But I wouldn't waste your time with some wacky antique, May. This is not just a one-slice toaster. It's the world's only psychic toaster. It's an adventure into the world of wonder and ESP. May, pick a slice, any slice.
Choose this one.
Or you may change your mind if you wish. Oh, good choice. That's my favorite. Okay. By the way, this trick is not gluten-free. I apologize. Okay. May, go ahead, memorize your slice. It's white bread, just like me. All right, go ahead. Put it in the toaster for me. Get that baby fired up. Okay. And she cooks, too. Awesome. Okay. All right. Ziploc bag right there. Inside of it, a deck of cards. People in the front, you might see a familiar card here in the plastic of the bag. People in the back, curl it, come early next time. Good. Okay, great. I'm going to shuffle. We'll let the lovely May select a card. May, reach in there with your left hand. Just take out one card. Just take one. Don't be greedy. Don't show me. Don't show the audience. Whatever you do not show the psychic toaster. Good. Have you memorized your card, May? Good. I will now pass the thought of the card through May's body. I know you're thinking, over my dead body. Actually, May, the thoughts will travel using a kitchen fork because thoughts are electric. So the fork is the conduit. Oh! Yeah. Your turn. All right, don't electrocute yourself. Just hold that. Okay, I have some safety equipment. 1 second. Watching you. Easy with that fork. Okay. No need to tenderize, Mr. Magic. Okay. I'll take the fork. Even as I speak, the toaster has begun to singe an image into the bread. I'll need your hand. Perfect. Now, think of your card. Stay in the show. Think of your card flowing through your body. Here we go. Ah, did you feel our thoughts race into the toaster, May?
Yes.
Remember who has the pointy fork? Yes, she said. Even as I speak, the toaster is singed an image into the bread. And if there is an image on this slice of bread that looks like the card that May selected, would this be a good trick? Give me a miracle. Come on, people. Mind reading toaster, not a tad unusual to some of you. Okay. May, tell me, take a little step forward if you would. Tell me, what is the card you picked? Tell me.
2.
2, yes, 2 of diamonds. Yes, show them right out in front, like 2 of diamonds, popping the bread out of the toaster. Hold it up, just right like that. Yep, take a look. Can't buy a reaction like that. It's really a 2 and a diamond. It is a psychic toaster. See you for May.
Bruce Gold, ladies and gentlemen. Bruce Gold. Bruce, that was great.
Thank you, John.
Very funny and also a great trick. I have no idea how you did that, of course. But what is that? You said this was a genuine toaster. I've never seen a one-size toaster. Was this really something that was for sale?
It's a real toaster made back in the 40s. Apartments were very tiny then.
Yeah, it struck me, though, it was a great mix of the comedy and the magic, and that's very hard to bring together. So congratulations to Bruce once again for pulling that off, because it was so entertaining. But I think the fellas may have come to an agreement. Whether or not they're right, you can say, gentlemen.
Well, you know, we're having a great example here of comedy magic. And in comedy magic, many times people forget to do the comedy and the magic. And it's wonderful to see somebody do both. We're thrilled to pieces to see a toaster on stage. There's a great deal of confidence with that. The trick is a really, really good trick. There's two pieces of information, which is getting the image onto the toaster. And then there is, you could either worry about that as how do you have 52 possible images that can be burned onto a toaster, or there's another way to do that, of course. And it turns out that my daughter, when she was maybe 3 years old, she used a little plastic bag so that there could be a random card picked out of that, and did a wonderful, wonderful job with that. And as much as I love my daughter, and as cute as she was on The View, you did a much better job with that trick. You didn't fool us, but you killed us. Thank you so much.
So, Bruce, just to confirm, they nailed you? They know how you did it? You think they're in the right area there?
They are in the right neighborhood. I would say yes.
Bruce, well, you didn't fool them, but you gave us all a great show, didn't you, ladies and gentlemen?
Great show.
Bruce Cole, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Mr. Bruce Cole. So coming up after the break, a performance from the two and only Penn and Teller. Don't go away. Now, these guys have been performing magic together for over 4 decades, which makes this next trick the second oldest one in the books. The first oldest is pretending to yawn so you can put your arm around a lady's shoulders. That's an oldie but a goodie, but here they are, ladies and gentlemen, the phenomenal Penn and Teller.
This is not intended to glorify smoking. That said, looks simple, doesn't it? But when you're dealing with a master of sleight of hand, like my partner Teller, even the simplest activity may be a complex deception. Let's watch that routine again. Is he really crushing out a cigarette? Is he really adjusting his hat? Is he really pulling out a fresh cigarette? Is he really bothered by that itch in his left eye? Is he really just lighting a cigarette? To understand the complexity of Teller's life, you need to know the 7 basic principles of magic. 1, palm, to hold an object in an apparently empty hand. 2, ditch, to secretly dispose of an unneeded object. 3, steal, the opposite of ditch, to secretly obtain a needed object. 4, load, to secretly move the needed object to where it's needed. 5, simulation, to give the impression that something that hasn't happened has. 6, misdirection, to lead attention away from a secret move. And 7, switch, to secretly exchange one object for another. Teller needs nothing but a pencil, 1 lit cigarette, and a flashlight. Let's watch that original routine again, but this time from the other side. He palms the cigarette. He simulates crushing it out. He steals the palm-lit cigarette and ditches the lit cigarette in his ear. He exhales smoke to misdirect the smoke coming out from around his hat. He steals the pencil. He simulates taking the pencil, which is simulating a cigarette, from the non-existent cigarette pack, and puts a simulated cigarette in his mouth. He rubs his eye to misdirect as he loads the burning cigarette from his ear. He simulates a lighter with a flashlight and switches the lit cigarette for the unlit pencil under cover of misdirection from the flashlight. Palm, simulation, steal, ditch, misdirection, steal, simulation, misdirection, load, simulation, switch, misdirection. Looks simple, doesn't it?
Isn't that just beautiful, ladies and gentlemen? The exquisite talent of Penn and Teller. A spectacular example of pure magic. No smoke, no mirrors, well, a little smoke. That's our show for tonight. There'll be more from Penn and Teller. Fool us next time. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.